Why are we paying our teachers less in many cases than, a Burger King manager? It's bizarre. The president of the National Education Association drops by to talk about how we can fix this crisis in American education. Leave your comments, ding the bell, and subscribe to our channel. The National Education Association has a new report out. It came out this morning. It's titled Rankings of the States 2018 and Estimates of School Statistics 2019. And the president of the National Education Association, the N.E.A., 3 million members strong, NEA.org is their website. Lily Garcia is on the line with us. NEA Today is the Twitter handle, or Lily_NEA. Lily Garcia, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. This is an important report. I'm glad that you're sharing it.
I am. Well, and thank you for sharing it with us, by being on the program with us. One of the high line or top line, I guess, points that you all make is that over the last decade, basically, average teacher pay in the country has decreased by 4.5%. Explain how that has happened.
Well, and we looked over the last 10 years. Our report comes out every spring when my lungs fill up with cherry blossom pollen. I know it's time for the teachers' pay rankings. It really is the most important report that comes out on teacher pay. The methodology we use is the gold standard, and what we're seeing now is the pay gap. This is really our competition when that young person wants to go to college and decide what they want to study. Right. The pay gap between what a teacher makes and what virtually every other college educated profession makes is growing. The gap is growing. Other professions, you want to be an accountant, you want to be in technology, your professional pay is rising faster than inflation. That is not what's happening with teacher pay. And I will tell you, as a woman, as a sixth grade teacher for 20 years, I believe that pay gap has a little something to do with the gender gap. I belong to a profession that is still about 77% women. Wow. And whenever you have a profession that's primarily women, you inevitably have a respect gap. People pat us on the head and say, "Oh, you're doing such fine work," but they do not expect that they will have to pay you the way other professions are paid. And so now all of this pay, and there's nothing more uncomfortable than talking about, we need to have a pay raise, but what's happening is it is affecting our students. It's affecting who wants to be a teacher. And we are seeing a decline in the folks that are entering college saying, I really feel the calling to teach. I really think I could, knock the socks off what I want to do to light kids' hair on fire and make them love learning. And then they look at the pay and they say, I'll never be able to pay off my student loan. And so people are being discouraged from becoming teachers, and we are seeing that shortage.
Now, we've seen
people applying all over the country.
Oh, yeah. And I remember, in the 60s and 70s and 80s, I had friends who wanted to be teachers who went into teaching. They saw it as a job that had good pay, reasonable benefits, a lot of job satisfaction, job security. The ability to retire with a pension. I mean, there were a lot of positive benefits to it, and many of those have just been absolutely wiped out, as you point out.
And nobody ever expected to get rich being a public school teacher, but we expected exactly what you just said. We expected to say, we'll be respected. We're doing important work. Yeah. People will want to support our work. Now, it's not just the pay. That's bad enough. But add to that the fact that virtually every teacher is expected to pull out of their own pockets to pay for things their students need. I always paid for my kids' art supplies, science projects, Mother's Day, projects. No matter what it was, I had no budget for that. I and my colleagues would hold, we were in charge, the sixth grade was in charge of our weekly cavities for computer bake sale for the school library. These were things that we just did. We raided our own family's budgets to give to our students.
Yeah.
Teaching is the only profession where you steal from home and take it to work. And we really thought, but it's that important, and we're not being given what we need. We have to take an extra job or two to make ends meet, but we love our work and we love our kids. Well, after a while, it gets so bad that you end up saying, if I keep picking up the slack for what a school district or a state legislature or a governor's budget did not give me, then that just gives them an excuse to keep on exploiting me and neglecting my students.
Yeah.
So that's why you've been seeing this Red for Ed wave of people showing up at state capitals demanding the schools that their students deserve and the respect that our profession deserves.
Yeah. Yeah, amen. And we've seen a number of teacher strikes, many of them very successful over the last year or so. It seems like a growing thing, and yet that isn't even bringing teachers back to where they were 20, 30 years ago in terms of, pay versus other professions and even just, pay. But what?
Well, we've dug the hole pretty deep. When you look at it right now, 63% of American school districts have a teacher starting pay salary of less than $40,000. And 300 of them are less than $30,000. That means you're right out of college. You've got a student loan to pay off 9 times out of 10. And you're going to be taking home $28,000, $32,000. And that's one of the reasons parents are discouraging their sons and daughters from becoming teachers. They said, you'll be living in the basement paying off your student loan, until you're 37 years old.
This is just so wrong.
We have a crisis on our hands.
Yeah, we definitely do. Lily Garcia, the president of the National Education Association, N.E.A.org is the website if you want to learn more about it or read the report. It is the rankings of the states 2018 and estimated school statistics of 2019 report from the N.E.A.